Hey, what's up, guys? This is Uplifting Joe. I was struggling whether or not to make a video just because of how everything sounds and feels, but I kept praying about it and I decided that I was going to. Had a post-rapture dream where, a long story short, it was after the rapture happened and I was kind of in a dilapidated area. And I was walking up to a burn barrel, like a oil drum, so to speak. And I walked up to this oil drum, and there were two people there that looked kind of dilapidated and run down. And I walked up to them, and I wasn't in my own perspective, like I wasn't in my eyes looking at the burn barrel. I was in a camera, back here, kind of just looking towards the burn barrel. And then I watched me walk to the burn barrel and talk to these homeless people. Now, I couldn't hear what I was saying or what they were saying back to me, the two guys at the burn barrel, but I knew in my dream that I was talking to them about Jesus, right? So I talked to them for a little bit, and it seemed like there was just a faint glow, just ever so slightly a faint glow about me in this overly kind of rundown area. The homeless people had it looks like olive drab overcoats on. They had gloves, right, that had the fingers cut off. They had like watchman caps, but looked pretty rugged. This post-rapture kind of ruined economy, apocalyptic vibe going on. And then I started to walk away. Now, when I walked away, I started walking away from the camera, which was still the camera's here focused at the burn barrel, and I'm walking past the burn barrel kind of out into the distance. And a third guy walks up from camera left and toward the burn barrel, and he talks to the guys, and he said, "Hey, who was that guy?" And they said, "Man, that was Uplifting Joe." And this third guy, kind of had a gray overcoat, looked a little cleaner generally. Everything about him just kind of looked a little neater. And he said, "Uplifting Joe, was he talking to you about Jesus?" And then the two guys said, "Yeah." He said, "I've heard about that guy." And that was kind of that dream. I had that exact same dream about 3 weeks later. Identical dream, which is why I'm doing this today, because I had that same dream twice. I had another dream. This one's darker. This one's much darker. Me and maybe 3 other people were in a car. I don't know if I was driving. That part's hard to say whether I was. I don't think I was driving. But we were in a car. Someone was driving. And we just left an event, some sort of event, right? And we were going, I don't know where we were going. We were going to the highway in the dream. And all of a sudden, there's kind of this crusty, old-looking gentleman, kind of crooked. If you've seen the movie Up, the older guy, I can't remember his name, but he's kind of a crotchety older guy with a cane. Imagine that guy, but way skinnier and just looked twisted, right? Like with a twisted grin. And he was twisting his hand and saying, "Come to the carnival! Come to the carnival! Come to the carnival! It'll be fun!" And I said, "No, we should not go to that carnival. No. Do not go into that carnival." And the guys in the car, the people in the car were like, "We're going to that carnival." And I was like, "Oh no, this is a bad idea. We should not go to this carnival." Long story short, we go into the carnival, and at the carnival, it was so freaky. No one could tell except for me in the dream, but I got little glimpses as we were walking past the different events, the different things that we could see. Like there was the game where you have the hammer, and you strike the hammer down, and you hit a little platform, and it makes a ball come up, and it hits a bell at the top if you hit it hard enough, and it goes ding. Yeah. So little events like that. And I don't know, it seems like in the dream every 15 seconds I would get a glimpse beyond the veil, so to speak, of the carnival, and it looked like it was 250 years in the future. It looked rusted and broken down. The food that was being sold looked rotten and full of worms. You know, just for a brief second, it looks like a different reality where it was like hellish, right? And so everyone was looking, and my friends and myself saw kind of like a, I don't know, I'm gonna call her like a barker, an old barker. She was kind of a heavy set woman, short, kind of awkwardly. Her weight was awkwardly positioned, like she wasn't. If I had to express it, it was like God hadn't quite made her, right? She was made by something else that wasn't God, which is why she looked so frumpy, or just not created by the Creator, right? Is kind of how it came across, but still human in a business suit, a very nice business suit with a skirt, that pinstripe skirt goes down to her knees, high heels on this grass area. And the guys all want to go to her, and I'm like, I don't like it. I'm getting a bad vibe from this lady. And so I look up, and I'm kind of observing the area. I used to be a Marine, so I kind of think, I was a machine gunner, so I think a little strategically. And I look, and there's a platform that's about, I don't know, hovering off the ground, about 8 feet. Now, the weird thing, let me describe this platform. It was made out of cement. It was probably about a foot thick of just straight cement, gray cement. And it was hovering. No supports, nothing to keep it up, just kind of hovering in place, not moving. And on the top, all the way around, in little cement rectangular things where these flower, a bush could be in there, or a flower could be in there, little planter boxes, made out of cement, built in and around every so often around the perimeter of this floating platform. The floating platform was about, I'm going to say 10 foot wide by 20 foot long. It was that sort of a rectangle with these planter boxes all the way around it. They were about 3 feet tall with short shrubs, right? Maybe they were 2 feet tall with short shrubs. So a long story short, I'm like, no, guys, let's not go talk to this lady. Let's get up here, get the high ground, right? And observe. So we go up there. I get up there, and I'm helping the other guys up, and I'm hiding behind these planter boxes, because I know it. I feel it in my spirit that something's off with this lady, this whole carnival. And the guys are like, oh man, why are you hiding? Stop being so freaked out, you know? And I'm like, guys, just if you ever trusted me, ever before in your life, ever, please hide behind these planter boxes. And so they're like, fine, man, you're driving me nuts. So they finally hid behind the planter boxes. And we're observing, and I'm watching this lady, and there's a booth. You know, if you go to like a nice restaurant, there's a booth. Okay? And in this booth, you have a table, and you have like a cushion on the one side of the booth, another cushion on the other side of the booth. The table's in the middle, right? And there's a wall behind it. So there's one way to enter this booth, and it's like a seating booth, like at a restaurant. Except for, if you can, in your imaginations, add a little kind of like old rustic Catholic church style spires. Aesthetic? I don't know. Imagine kind of like a Roman Catholic aesthetic to this booth. Okay. Now she's the town barker, so she has her little, come on, come check this out. Look at this amazing magic trick. Do you guys want to see what's going on? Check it out. This is so cool. You're gonna love this. All you have to do is enter the booth, and everything will make sense, right? So this couple comes in, and they're like, oh, okay, we'll check out the magic trick. What do we have to do? And the lady goes, all you got to do is sit down, and the magic will happen before your eyes. And so the people come in, right? And they sit down, and they're kind of looking around, and all of a sudden, the town barker, she reaches out her hand, and she closes her hand around what up until now was an invisible gate. And she swings the gate closed in front of the booth, and now the booth is locked, right? You can't get out the back, you can't get out the front. And I mean, technically, in the dream, we knew that once she closed that gate, once that we knew there was a gate and the gate was closed, you couldn't get out. And she said, "Everyone pay attention. It happened so quick, you won't believe your eyes." Bam! They were gone. They disappeared. Right? And she looks around at the crowd and she says, "Did you guys catch it? Were your eyes fast enough? Did you see what happened? Do you want to come check it out? Who can figure out the magic trick?" Right? Is there a button? Is there a switch? She opens up she swings open the gate, which swings open and disappears. The gate's gone, right? And I'm like, whoa, no, I'm up on this platform behind these planter boxes, and I'm like, whoa, this is not good, right? And all my friends want to go down and check out this booth. And I'm like, no, avoid the booth. The booth is bad news. You just got to trust me, right? And this scientist, he, kind of like a really smart looking dude, glasses. I think in my dream he actually had a lab coat. How corny is that, right? But in my dream, it was very clear that the guy was smart. Very, very smart, right? Oh, by the way, pardon the mattress. With the number 7 on it. It was my daughter's mattress, and I haven't gotten rid of it yet. She grew out of it. So the scientist comes up, and it's obvious that the guy is smart and very analytical and very, very sciencey, right? Doesn't believe in religion, doesn't believe in magic. He believes in what he can see and the facts of it. So he goes into the booth, right? He's like, "I'm going to figure this out." And he's down on his knees underneath the table, and he's looking. He's looking for switches and levers and stuff, and looking under the table, and he can't find anything. I don't know how long he was searching. Finally, he sits down on the booth and starts to think, right? He's thinking. And at that point, she's like, "Oh, he didn't figure it out. I wonder if the next person will." She grabs the imaginary gate, closes it, bam, he's gone, right? At this point, I'm like, we got to get out of here. So I tell my friends we should evacuate out the back, right? And they're like, no, we want to go down and we want to go into the booth. And I'm like, this is a terrible idea. No. And I'm actually starting to fight my friends, okay? Argue with them. Like, if you ever believed me, don't do it. And then the Barker lady, right? She says, "Hey, you guys have seen it twice. You've seen this trick twice. There's $1,000 and poof, in a poof of smoke, a table with $1,000 shows up just right next to the booth. Whoever can figure out the magic trick gets the $1,000. At that point, everybody, right? Everybody, including my friends, they overpower me. They jump off, and everyone goes toward the booth. Now, the moment my friends jump off the booth and their feet touch the floor, I was teleported. Bam! Gone to another area. This place looked very dark and dingy. And I don't know. I was getting real hell vibes, right? But no fire. No fire. But definitely barren wasteland vibes that was very hellish inspired, in my opinion. And I'm looking, right? And if you've ever seen Rick and Morty, okay, there's a guy called Mr. Needful, and that dude is like the devil in the show. His name is Mr. Needful. And basically that is how this guy looked, but more handsome. This guy looked handsome and kind of young. He did have a top hat. He did have a cane. I think he had a gold tooth, but I can't guarantee it. His face, although looked schemy, but handsome at the same time. It was creepy. He also had a pinstripe suit, and the back had little tails, like a tuxedo, like a penguin tuxedo tails on the back of the suit. Anyway, that doesn't matter. What the guy says is, "Come one, come all you have to do is go through the archway." There was a big archway made out of stone, large archway. I'm going to say 30 people left white, if they were standing side by side, could walk through the archway at a time. All you have to do to get food or water is go through the archway. Go through the archway. That's all you have to do. Renounce Jesus Christ and go through the archway. Right? And I'm like, no. So I start running around. And it's this kind of this barren area. There's not a lot around. It's like a giant circular stone barren room, basically. Kind of in the color of like a mesa. You know, like the desert mesa area with the cactuses. That's the color scheme we're working with. And it was kind of like semi-finished mesa stone. So it wasn't perfectly smooth. A little bit rugged, but it's not like I was jumping on boulders. I started running around. There was a group of 30 people, maybe, in that room. And they were all like, they heard that guy, I'm going to call him Mr. Needful. Because that's who he reminds me of. And they start walking towards Mr. Needful, walking towards the archway, right? Now, I'm freaking out, and I know in my heart that's the Antichrist, right? Or the devil or something. And I start running around and saying, do not deny Jesus Christ. Do not deny Jesus Christ. Do not deny Jesus Christ. That's the devil. It's a trick. You have to believe me. Stay away from the archway. Okay? That's what I'm saying. And as I'm running and saying this, some really deformed looking individuals come out. They kind of look human-ish, but they're very, very deformed. I don't mean like Hunchback of Notre Dame. I mean like so deformed that if they were human, they wouldn't be able to live, kind of deformed. Human-esque. But very, and they started pouring in through the other side of this archway to try and stop me. They weren't affecting anyone else, okay? They weren't attacking anybody else. They were trying to get me, right? And I was running, and for whatever reason, it seemed like they could run at normal speed, normal human speed, whatever that would be. And it seemed like I could run about twice as fast. I could jump twice as high. I was acrobatically, kind of like Spider-Man, it's a lame representation, but I was kind of like Spider-Man, convincing people, do not do it, do not do it, do not do it, until there was so many of these deformed things that it didn't matter where I ran, where I jumped, how strong I was. Everywhere I was, wherever I would land or stop, I was being grabbed by one of these, and I cried out to Jesus. I said, Jesus, I'm about to be overtaken. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? And right then, I teleported back to that platform from the earlier dream. I told you the dreams were connected. I teleported right back to that platform, and no one was at that, what I'm going to call the evil carnival anymore. It was empty. No one was there. No humans, no people, nothing. And on that booth, the gate was closed, and it said closed forever. Right? Now, I don't know if that booth was representative of the Mark of the Beast, or if the archway with Mr. Needful was representative of the Mark of the Beast. I'm not sure. But what I know is we're getting close, guys. We're getting real close. I feel like I was supposed to make this video not for the non-believers, but for the people who are left behind. I don't believe there's going to be electricity, so I don't know how you're going to watch this. I have no idea. But I believe that God wanted me to make this video. I believe that people in the tribulation are going to be able to see it. So my name is Uplifting Joe. I'm just trusting that somehow this video is going to get out. There's going to be terrible things that happen, and you're going to have to believe in Jesus. If you can find a Bible, man, find a Bible. Right now, before the rapture, everyone has it easy believing in Jesus. We have it so easy, and you guys are going to have it so hard. And I am sorry. I am sorry that you guys have it hard, but here's the good news. The tribulation is a second chance. Second chance for people who didn't believe originally. Okay? So the fact that you're watching this right now means that there is hope because you're in your second chance period. Okay? Bad news. At some point, the Antichrist is going to require the mark of the beast. Whether it's a microchip in your right hand or on your forehead, it's going to be a requirement. And, man, whatever you do, do not take that mark. Okay? If they're going to behead you if you don't. Okay? You will die. This planet, this earth, this realm, you will die. But, okay, that's not the end. You get to go up to heaven. You give your life to Jesus. And don't just give your life to Jesus. I mean, give up your own will to Jesus Christ, God the Creator. Okay? Give your will to Him and start living your life for Him. Pray to Him. Talk to Him. Don't just say it with your mouth. Mean it inside with your whole being. With every ounce that you are. And ask for His will in your life, because what He's going to have you do is try to show other people who He is. That's going to be your task. Okay, whether you're one of the 144 or not. Okay? Your task will be try to share the gospel during this time. Survive and share. Don't give up. Don't just give up and accept defeat. Okay? There are going to be incredible times, and there are going to be moments where God's going to rescue you. Okay? You will get rescued when you thought you weren't about to be. God's just going to send something. Something's going to be set up to save you. Okay? So do not give up. Never give up and just put up your hands and accept defeat. Okay? You don't get to do that. You have to fight until there's no breath left in you. And I don't care if they torture you. I don't care if they stab you slowly. I don't care if they cut off all your fingers. Do not take that mark. Okay? Because if you do, that's eternal damnation. And you don't want that. Okay? If you get your head cut off because you will not renounce Jesus Christ, you get to go to heaven. Okay? That's what you want. If you take that mark, that's it.
Can you please make her talkie milk?